Today, Mama's going to make a cheap and tasty dessert. She's going to make a chocolate pound cake.
A pound cake is a cake that is an old recipe, and in fact it was called a pound cake because everything that was put into it when they weighed it out weighed a pound. But today the modern ones don't quite do that, so I'm going to give you a recipe for a chocolate pound cake today. Now there's many flavors and they're all good, but a pound cake is a heavy, dense cake. And you can make so many things out of them. You can do petite fours, you can do ice cream cakes, and which we're going to do with this one. Instead of baking it in a bundt pan, we're going to bake it in 2 bread loaf pans. We're going to start out, we have 2 sticks of butter that we've put in the microwave and softened for 25 seconds. And that just softened it up enough to where that we can blend it in good. You don't want it melted, you want it just softened. And to that we're going to add 1/2 cup of shortening. It's already sounding rich, isn't it? We want that to blend just enough to where that we can add 3 cups of sugar. You can just kind of pour that in there. Don't dump it in all at once or it makes it harder to mix up. If you just pour it in a nice steady stream, it makes mixing so much easier. And next goes 5 eggs, whole eggs. So you're gonna add them just 1 or 2 at a time. Kind of let them mix in there good. You know it has to be rich when you put 5 eggs in a cup, in a cake. Okay, that's mixed up fairly good. I'm going to turn that off. I have here 3 cups of flour. And to that 3 cups of flour, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of table salt, and 1/2 cup of cocoa. Now that needs to be stirred up just a little bit and kind of mixed. You don't have to get really hefty with that. Just enough to where that cocoa won't lump up when you put it down in this egg and butter mixture. So I'm just kind of, it's easy to mix. Okay. We're going to put about 1/3 of that in our batter. And we're going to turn the mixer on low. I have here 1 1/4 cup of just regular milk, and I'm going to add about 1/3 of it. Another 1/3 of our flour mixture. Another third of the milk. And this is just so it mixes easier. If your flour and cocoa wants to stick in the bottom of your measuring cup, just kind of whisk it around a little bit and it comes right out. And then we're going to add the rest of our milk. It makes a rather thick batter, but it's looking good. And to that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla. Turn that up just a bit. And that batter is ready to go in the pans. I have warmed my oven up to 350, and I'm now going to put the cake batter half and half in these 2 pans. I have put a little shortening in them and then floured it a little bit. Now you can use regular corn oil if you want to kind of go around the edges, but I found that the shortening is a little thicker and it seems like it just works better. It doesn't leave any greasiness or anything there on your batter. And I'm going to try to get these as even as I can with the amount that I'm putting in it. And I'm not very good at that. As you can see, it's nice and thick. Kind of push it where it's in the corners. Okay. Now let's put some in that other one so I can see where I'm at with that. One of these is going to be, you can either freeze one of them and save it for something else, or you can make 2 of whatever you want. In this case, we're going to make 2 ice cream cakes. Nothing wrong with that, is it? My mom's birthday's coming up, and so we're going to make ice cream cakes out of these. Looks like I did pretty good. They're about even. Now these will go in the oven, and if you're putting it in a bundt pan and only doing 1 cake, that bundt pan will need to cook for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. By these being in 2 individual little pans like this, I think that it won't take quite as long. So after about 50 minutes, I'm going to check on them and see where they're at. To check on it, you just put a toothpick down in there. If the toothpick comes back clean, you're in business. Okay, it has been 1 hour and 15 minutes. So putting these in your littler pans did not make a difference. It must have been because they were so thick. Okay. They look good, don't they? Okay. That's it.